I got this on my way. So drift. 나나만 보고 driving like round, round. Let me hear you say. Everybody say. Oh. Hey. Undercover, hey, need my name. Yes, my love. Back down. Tell you all every day, every night. We got the time. We don't give a fuck. 우리 손을 그어줘.
What is up, everyone? My name is Tony. Welcome back to my channel where I react to K-pop and all other kinds of music. If you're new here, welcome. Hope you enjoy my reaction. If you do, please consider liking and subscribing. It definitely helps me out. You can also feel free to follow me on Instagram and or Twitter if you are interested. Links are down in the description. I always follow back. And yeah, other than that, I'm back with SB19. I feel like it's all that I do lately. I'm not mad about it though. So excited to finally get to their What Nobody Understands series that Casual Chuck made. Super excited to watch these and deep dive more into the individual members and like more about them and their stories. So I'm very, very interested to see what this entails. And I already know that the editing is going to be great just because it's Casual Chuck, and I really, really liked his docuseries. Like, he did a really good job on it. But yeah. Also, firstly, I just want to say apologies if my energy is not as up as it usually is. Firstly, sucks being a female, but I'm just sitting here with like my heating pad right now, so I'm feeling better, but like I just want to let you guys know, like, my energy is just usually like depleted around this time of the month. But I really, really wanted to watch this series. I really, really wanted to like spend my weekend getting into this. So it is what it is. Just bear with me. Because I'm literally just watching every single member like in one sitting. I mean, I would literally be sitting on my couch watching dramas anyway today, so why not sit here with a heating pad and watch this instead? So I'm excited to get into this. Also, another thing I wanted to say was I'm super, super, super happy and proud of the members who won awards. Okay, wait. So my 118 friend shared with me all of the awards that SB19 won at the P-Pop Music Awards. So Josh won Solo Artist of the Year. Congratulations. And Ken won, what is it again? Regional Song of the Year for Kaneko. So congratulations to Ken. And then Butata by Pablo won the choreography and a live performance. So that's cool. Congratulations to Pablo. And then SB19 received an award as P-Pop Icon. Oh my gosh, they're just winning all of the awards, guys. And then Josh also won the Collaboration Award, Collaboration of the Year with Al James. So that's cool. Okay. I really, 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 really just wanted to like announce that and give like appreciation and love to SB19 for all of the awards that they won. That's really, really awesome. I'm just like, even though I'm like a new 18, like I'm just so happy for them. But anyways, another thing I wanted to talk about, I know Josh has a new vlog up on his channel, and I know like as a barbecue, a lot of you guys wanted me to get to it, but I don't know if it has English subs yet. I'm not positive, but I will say, like, no judgment if Josh doesn't put up English subs, because quite frankly, adding captions to videos in general is tedious and time consuming, and That's why I don't do it very often. I have, but it's really tedious. Like, usually I use like I've only like done like like official English like captions. Like I haven't done another language because it's like even if because I would love to put captions up, but even if I used a program that like it does a transcript of my video and then put it into a translator to like translate it to another language, I don't know how accurate, you know, that translation is. So I don't know how I feel about that, but I do appreciate the people that put captions on their videos because it's one thing that I would love to do, but it's really time consuming and I don't know. It's just, I get it. I really do get it. But anyways, what else was I going to say? I can't remember what else I was going to say. Oh, I know their cover of Attention was highly recommended. So that's another thing that's high up on my list, as well as Elaw, another thing that's high up on my list. So those I think are going to be my priorities for right now. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about. I just was excited that they won awards, so I wanted to talk about it. I'm really happy for them. But anyway, on to the What Nobody Understands series. So I just have Casual Chuck's playlist up. We're going Ken, Pablo, Stell, Josh, and then Justin. So I hope you guys are ready for yet another long reaction. Anyways, let's hop into it. I'm super excited to learn more. I also do have tissues. I do have tissues with me just in case, you know, because you just never know. You never know when I'm gonna get emotional. So, especially this time of the month, I tend to get more emotional. But anyway, excited to hop into this. Let's learn more about Ken. Okay, cool. Let's go. Disclaimer of liability. For entertainment purposes only. I like how you put the disclaimer. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, that's serious. All right. Look at those boots! The most spoiled. The baby.
Makakalimutan. Hindi mong patapos na, nagkamali pa siya.
Ken! Cute!
Ken, bakit sige? Bakit sige?
Please stop it.
He's such a cutie.
Ken is, in my opinion, the most successful idol in P-pop history. Most fans see him as someone who's living the life most of us can only dream of. But in reality, there's a lot more going on behind all the glitz and glamour. So in today's video, we will reveal the challenges he had to go through just to get where he is today. From being a scrawny kid who only ate instant noodles on his birthdays, to becoming the CEO of his own company. I know, Ken's story is like a definition of rags to riches. And the haters are not having it. He quickly became one of the most polarizing figures in the P-pop industry.
Thief,
Before
what?
we talk about all that, let's talk about his humble beginnings because it's straight up inspiring.
I think it's so interesting how much people just hate on successful individuals. Like, I don't know, like, just to like give you guys like a background, I know that I have a nice apartment in my background. Like, I know that I look like I'm well off, but I'm gonna let you guys know, like, I come from a very mediocre family. My mom and dad did not have higher education. My dad eventually got his associate's degree later on in life, but, you know, they never had a higher degree. My mom literally cleaned for a living. Like, she was a janitor. You know, my dad was like doing furniture stuff for a long time before he eventually got like a really decent government job. Like, I just want to let you guys know, like, my background is very, interesting. Like I come from like a country area, like it takes 15-20 minutes to get to town from my mom's house. Like it's very country area, like the internet is not that great. Like just to let you guys know like my personal background and how I can relate to, you know, SB19. Um my aunt, so my dad's sister, is the one in my family who worked really, really hard to get a higher level education to, you know, to get to where she is today. She went into nursing and now she's like high up in, you know, healthcare. Like I mean, she's like executive level. And she's the one who helped me and my siblings get proper education. She put us through school. She's actually the one that paid for my dance lessons. Like, you know, she has given us so much, like the things that my parents were not able to. So it's because of that that I got a decent education. I have a good job. And even though, like, I will say, like, I'm not, like, I don't have a lot of money. Like, I really don't. Like, I'm just someone who likes nice things. But, yeah, like, I have a very humble upbringing. Just to give you guys, like, a background on me, I know, like, looking at my apartment, like, you guys probably think that I'm, like, that I'm, like, crazy rich, but I'm really not. Like, I worked really hard for this apartment. I really did. And even now, I, like, struggle financially a bit. Like, I don't have everything together. You know, I am a single person that's 30 with a dog and is struggling to survive just like you guys. Like, genuinely, I don't have it all together. But I'm trying my best. And that's why I'm so invested in these stories of, like, you know, the rags to riches stories, because I know how it is. Like, I know how it is growing up on mac and cheese, hot dogs, ramen. Like, I lived that life. Like, that was my childhood as well. And of course, like, there were definitely people who were way worse off than me. Absolutely, 100%. I feel very lucky in life to have the opportunities that I have had. But, you know, I just want to explain, like, my personal background and, you know, why I connect with SB19 so much, because, and why I have such respect for them, because I know how hard they had to have worked to get to where they are today. Like, I understand it. So and the hate that they get is just so undeserved. Like, it's the jealousy that people feel that, you know, they couldn't get this opportunity like, you know, SB19 members did. So, and you can just tell, like, they're just miserable people. So, yeah, I just wanted to, like, give a little bit of background on me, so you guys can understand me a bit better as well. But anyways, let's continue with Ken.
It all started in Pagadian, Zamboanga del Sur. This is the countryside where Felipe John Suson was raised. His mom wanted to name him Kenji, but his grandpa Felipe insisted to name him Philip. He was the youngest member of a family that barely had anything financially. They were very poor that instead of a cake on his birthday, all he gets is a plate of instant noodles. Life was so hard that having fried chicken was heaven for him, so it quickly became his all-time favorite. Because of this, both of his parents had to go overseas to find better paying jobs to support the education of Ken and his older sister.
I could not even imagine.
He had to be taken under the care of his grandparents. He then grew up in a church and his grandpa was the pastor.
Could you, like, imagine making that choice as a parent to, like, leave your kids behind so that way you could, like, go find better jobs? I don't think
he was just a scrawny kid who likes mathematics and discovered drawing as his first talent. So he went on to become an editorial cartoonist in school.
That's really cool.
Family gatherings in the Philippines always require a karaoke machine. And Kent's extended family wasn't a stranger to that. He used to hide during these occasions because he was always asked to sing. I was told by some sources that Ken had a very good singing voice as a kid but lost his confidence when puberty hit because it gave him an ultra deep voice which turned out to become one of his greatest assets in the future because of the dude named Pablo.
I never thought na may mga tao talaga makapag-appreciate ng voice ko. Kasi hindi ako ganoon ka confident sa voice ko kasi yung range ko mababa lang tapos malalim yung boses ko. Ngayon, parang naging na-appreciate ko na yung boss ko dahil may mga tao na ka-appreciate na. Nice.
Anyway, his newfound love for music got
precious.
him to learn his first musical instrument without anyone teaching him. So he ended up becoming a southpaw guitarist, but later fixed it as he learned more. He was also active in sports, representing his school in regional tournaments. He played some table tennis and sepak takraw as a spiker. For those who don't know, this position requires exceptional skills to perform explosive jumps to block and strike the ball. The teacher saw this as a potential that can translate into good dancing, so he was offered to join the dance club for better grades. He was hesitant at first, but when he tried, you'll know what happened next. Watching his early clips feels like he was born to dance. He was even hired by his school to choreograph some dance routines. He then moved to Cagayan de Oro to study architecture in college. He became a member of the dance crews called Excite, GA7, and Amigo 7. His last two crews were so good, in fact, Ken had a crewmate named Joshua who went on to become a member of the successful international...
I'm sorry, I love how well they kept with the GOT7 like theme with like like the star and the O and like everything.
Good. In fact, Ken had a crewmate named Joshua who went on to become a member of a successful international idol group in the future called Z-Boys. They were beating everybody in the countryside, so there was no point in competing there anymore. It was time for the big leagues. They got invited to join major K-pop dance competitions, and this was the first time when Ken met other SB19 would-be members. Not as brothers, but as enemies. In one particular contest,
they were enemies.
Josh and Stell's crew defeated Ken's because they already had a GOAT status in the industry at the time. Ken accepted defeat gracefully and even asked to be trained by Josh, which actually surprised him because he thought Ken was a show-off.
Kinausap niya po ako eh. Sabi niya sa akin, Idol Josh, gano'n po tawag niya sa akin.
Oh,
Idol
that's
Josh.
so
Sali naman ako
cute!
sa ano nyo. Pa-training naman ako sa grupo nyo. Kahit sa gilid lang ako.
But because of their
That's
distance,
so
the training
cute.
together never happened.
Aww.
Ken then went home to continue his studies. Fast forward to 2017, he received a message from Josh. It was an invite to audition for the 5th member spot of SB19. But there's one problem. Ken had no money, so Josh was like, no problem, I'll take care of it. Ken then told his grandma about stopping
I still
school
think
to
that's
pursue it,
wild.
and she was very hesitant because she thought it was a scam, and his parents overseas would have automatically said no. But Ken was so close to his grandma that he managed to convince her to go in secret. So our country boy
go
took
in
off to
secret.
pursue his dreams.
Aww.
He had nothing with him except his phone, his clothes, and a 1,500 peso pocket money. This time when he arrived at the airport, there was no crew. It was all him. So imagine how that must have felt. Anyway, he took a taxi to SBT Talent Camp, and of course, the
That's a
driver's
big
cabin.
risk.
He had to pay 600 pesos for a supposedly 150 peso trip. What a ripoff. Anyway, he finally met Josh and the boys and started training with them for a year while crashing into a distant relative's house to rest up. He slept on the floor, not with a comforter, but a banig. Because if he didn't, he would be homeless. Ken had no salary when he was still training, so he moonlighted as a small-time model to survive.
Wow.
Which is an experience that would play a big role in his future.
Wow.
The dude was literally fighting for his dreams every single day.
For real.
So here comes 2018 when they finally debuted, and though it was a rocky start, they gradually progressed to become the greatest P-pop group God has ever created. If you want to know more about their story as a group, check out the SB19 story series I made, linked down in the description. You can also join the highest tier of our channel's membership if you're interested to be credited as one of the executive producers. So how did Ken become the most polarizing P-pop idol? Like, how is he either obsessively loved by fans or obsessively hated by bashers? Well, he has this persona.
Sorry, I want to read that again. Okay, listen. And this like happens like all the time. Like it's not even within like P-pop or K-pop. Like in general, this happens all the time. Like I just people really don't understand the concept of sampling. Like genuinely, like they just don't comprehend it. And I'm just like, there's like beats and sounds and effects that like you can sample from, right? Like I swear sometimes people just like amaze me with like I could understand if literally the whole song sounded the same and maybe the lyrics were just changed up a bit, but if there's just like some things that are similar and you can just tell that like they use the same samples, like that's totally different. I don't know. The amount of like fans are like, you stole the work, like okay.
Well, he has this persona of a badass dude who doesn't give a shit. And if you combine that
And
with one
people
of the
hate
many
that.
accusations thrown
People
at him,
hate that.
then they got themselves a new P-pop villain.
People hate the ones that they can't affect, you know what I mean? Like I'm one of those people. Like honestly, some of the comments that I get from certain people, I'm sure 18 have seen like I'm sure 18 have seen some of the ridiculous comments that have been popping up in the comment section. And the way that you guys defend me, I just want to say I appreciate you so much. I honestly think it's funny. I'm just like, what was the comment that I just got where someone was like, what kind of reaction is this? With a bunch of angry emojis. And I'm just like, oh, why? Like, what was the point of your comment? Like, to drag me down because it just makes me laugh. Like, genuinely, I just think it's so funny. Like, and people get so pissed off when they can't affect you, you know what I mean? Like, because that's the whole point, right? That's the whole point why they hate and why they make those comments, because they want to get a reaction out of you, right? Like, they want to see people put down. Like, that's their whole point. But the people who remain unaffected and who just like go about their day, like they hate it. They hate it so much. And I'm just like, listen, like I think it's funny that you took time out of your day to make a comment that I don't give a fuck about. Like, genuinely, like, I think me and Ken are very, very similar in that mindset, you know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, like, I know who I am, and I know my morals and my beliefs and my, who I am as a person. I'm confident in who I am as a person. And so, like, you, like, making judgments or, nasty comments, like, it doesn't bother me. I think it's really funny, to be honest with you. So I think me and Ken are very similar in that.
Villain in the making. But there's one thing in common between all those issues. They lack evidence. There are a few exceptions though, but you can't say a person is arrogant just because he looks cool and badass. The dude is even a softie. He tends to cry in interviews and emotional moments. His awkwardness is
such a
still there,
cutie.
and this TikTok clip says it all.
Me and you and you and me, just us and your friend Steve. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do, Steve. Do-do-do-do-do-do, Steve. Do-do-do-do-do-do, Steve. Do-do-do-do-do-do, Steve. Do-do-do-do-do-do, Steve. Do-do-do-do-do-do, Steve. Do-do-do-do-do-do,
He's such a kid. He's so cute.
Also, you can't just call a person lazy just because you've seen a few clips of him sleeping. I mean, isn't it a result of him working too hard? Being an idol and running your own clothing company at the same time is no joke.
For
the dude
real.
only used to draw this aspiration, but now he made it happen. He managed to build a company that sold out merch in just minutes. It's insane. It's even rumored that his company is now worth more than $1 million.
I know on Discord, some 18 were talking to me about Ken's
Whether it's true or
clothing
not,
line and
it put
stuff.
an even bigger target on his back. And haters started coming up with even more ridiculous claims.
Of course.
Like accusing him of copying 2 K-pop music videos just because they have a similar vibe.
I just, again, like, sometimes your artist concept is not unique. And I like Lay, okay? Like, I enjoy EXO. Lay is a good artist, but come on, like, sometimes concepts are not 100% unique. Like, many people can use a similar concept. Like, do you have it copyrighted? Do you have that concept copyrighted? I'm just wondering.
This was easily debunked though. If you want to check it out, I made a video about it. Link down in the description. His main dancer position got
I never
also
even
heavily
heard that
criticized
song, to be
because
honest
of one
with you.
single clip of him messing up on live TV. It was unfair in my opinion because Ken has always been consistent in his dance
Yeah.
performances, yet the haters suddenly forgot about how good he really is. Ken never fired back. Or did he?
Or did he? He made a diss track. Right? Ken is so me. Ken is so me. I'm sorry. The fact that I literally made that exact comment when I was watching the docu-series, and I literally said, "You're hiding behind a fucking PFP. Stop being a coward and show your real face." Ken is so me. I feel you, Ken.
So why does the poultry still
That's
exist
so
and are
funny.
still growing in numbers after all the bashing? Well, it's because he doesn't only have the alluring personality, but he also has the capability to back it up. Scratch that. Capabilities. What's crazy about Ken is that he has already shown us enough talent, like his exceptional dancing and singing, that is enough to fulfill
Pause. Let me fix my blinds. Hold on. I hate making it too dark in here, but I hate when like this light is like on my face.
a main vocal role.
Saan darating ang mga salita na nanggagaling sa aming dalawa? Kung lumisan ka, wag naman sana ika'y lumapit na, hindi magkawala. Aking sinta, ikaw lang bahanan ay mundo.
Yet he still has a lot of secrets.
He's so
I'm
cute.
telling you, man, this guy is a living anime character. Have you heard of an idol who is also a CEO? A dancer who is known for his aerial flips but never tells us that he can also breakdance.
Okay.
A singer who writes and co-produces his own songs. A musician that plays guitar, keyboard, drums.
He's
and
just
can
doing
even
his
beat
own
us.
thing.
A fashion influencer. A man who plays sports like basketball, billiards, volleyball, badminton, table tennis, boxing, and sepak takraw with decent proficiency. A skater boy, an artist, a philanthropist, and most especially, a man of faith. I initially thought that the Superior Sound brand was all about him, but I was quickly proven wrong when I found this Bible verse underneath his Bulan CD. Hebrews 1, 5-14. The
Interesting.
entire passage is lengthy, but it all boils down to Christ being the superior of all beings. I mean, all of us have different religions. Some don't even have one. But I just respect
True.
people like him who stand firm behind their beliefs. As of today, Ken has established himself as an arguably the most successful people.
I never would have known that he was religious, to be honest with you. But okay. I like, again, like, I just, you know, as long as you're a good person, like, I genuinely don't care what your religion is. I personally grew up Catholic, so like, I was baptized, I went to Catholic school my whole life, like, so I kind of have a bit of that Catholic school trauma, you know what I mean? Like, just like the forced religion classes and you know, just seeing like the hypocrisy that Christians have, you know what I mean? Like, not everyone, of course, but a lot of them are huge hypocrites, you know what I mean? Like, it's, especially as someone who grew up with a mentality, you know, like, be kind to others, and, you know, I was just always taught that, like, you know, Jesus, you know, wanted to teach everyone to be kind and treat others with respect. And, you know, like, that's how I was always taught. But then I would go to church and I would like see the judgment, and like my sister is lesbian and very butch, and just like the judgment that she would get, and like, you know what I mean? Like, it put a bad taste in my mouth to say the least. So Christianity and Catholicism, like, it's just not personally my thing, just given the things that I've seen from people in those religions. Not, again, not everyone, but just from my personal experience. So me personally, I consider myself more of a spiritualist. You know, I do believe in energy, and what we put out into the world, you know, is given back to us, and, you know, things like that. Like, I definitely believe in, like, you know, spirits and guides and, you know, stuff like that. I definitely believe in a higher power for sure. But yeah, I just, again, like, me personally, I don't really care what your religion is, as long as you're like a decent person. But just like, again, personal background of me, you know, and my like my personal trauma. But yeah, I find that interesting. Like, not that it matters. Like, again, like, I don't really care like what any of their like religion is or anything like that, but I know some people just make it a really hot topic for some reason, and personally I don't get it. But I think it's nice that Ken like shows little pieces of himself without like, he just doesn't seem very like blatant about like himself, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't really seem to like to talk about himself, or, you know, reveal too much about himself. And I don't know if that's just like because he's someone who just like keeps to himself and doesn't really want to talk about, you know, things like that, or if, yeah, I don't really know why. But I will say, like, it does seem like he shows pieces of himself through in like little ways, you know what I mean? If you just like pay attention to the things that he shares and the things that he says, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's one of those people that you really have to like pay attention to the things that they say and do to like really understand them as a person, because he doesn't really talk openly about like his likes, dislikes, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like Ken is someone that I really, really have to like pay attention to, you know what I mean, to like fully understand him as a person, which like is fine. That's totally fine.
Among his co-members, and it's just
and it's his life too. Like, he doesn't have to.
Introducing Filipino music.
He doesn't have to tell us everything.
The US as of the making of this video, and his group SB19 is the first one to ever do it. So what have we learned about Ken's story? For me, it was his persistence and willingness to take risks. Have you ever noticed that sometimes it's your loved ones that said no to your aspirations? Because, you know, they care about you. They don't want you to fail and all that. Do you know how many people have had visions, ideas, and huge career moves that they were about to do, but they allowed the word no to stop them?
For sure.
For all I know, you might be one of those people. The difference with Ken is that he never gave the power to the word no. It was his own grandma who tried to stop him, but he continued. Yes, haters exist, but he didn't reject his own ideas just because they rejected his ideas. Haters hate because they feel small when your ideas start turning into reality. He once said in an interview that success is the best revenge, so he stopped killing them with kindness. To this day, Ken has been torturing them with success.
Get it, Ken? Hey! Ken's so cute. I just want to say, like, it's so funny to me because my 118 friend, she shared with me this TikTok of Josh and Ken because she knows I'm like chicken barbecue, but but she was like they're Josh and Ken are like the badasses of the group, and I was like, makes total sense to me because I very much have a type. I very much have a type, and it's very much the like muscular, like buff, badass guys who are actually like sweethearts, are actually like teddy bears, you know what I mean? Like, I very much have a type. And Josh and Ken both kind of like fit right into that type for sure. But anyways, that was fun getting to know Ken a little bit more. I'm starting to definitely see the more like cute sides of Ken. I really think he's becoming like, before he was just like, you know, this badass dude who just had a really cool deep voice, but now I'm really seeing the like adorable sides to him, so that's fun. Okay, let's move on to Pablo.
It's okay to make mistakes, but don't.
Sino ang pinakamatagal mag-ayos?
Ay! Let's go! Hindi ko po hindi ako.
Pablo!
I did unspeakable things talaga.
What?
Everybody would love a taste of Pablo's life, having his own family business and the utmost respect from his co-members and fans. Pablo's life seems perfect, yet the truth is completely different. Not too long ago, he has been put in the shadows even though his role with SB19 is supposed to be significant. There were moments that his work wasn't even acknowledged. He is also seen as a member who has the strongest personality, which most people don't understand. But I'm telling you, Pablo's story is a revelation because it proves otherwise, and you're about to hear it. So sit back and enjoy, because it's going to be a heck of a ride.
I'm interested. I'm interested to learn more about Pablo.
Gianpaolo Nase was born and raised in Imus, Cavite. He's the second-born child along with two sisters and two brothers.
Aww.
Their mom took care of them while their dad provided for them financially from overseas. Pablo grew up as a shy kid who tends to space out, and because of that, he sometimes wandered off of their pack when they were outside. There was a time when their family was in the mall and he suddenly went missing. They panicked for a little bit, only to find him urinating on a plant in the corner. There was also another time when he fell into the canal. Pablo's childhood was never boring because he was surrounded by a loving family. As a teenager, Pablo was very active in sports. In fact, he made it to his high school's varsity basketball team playing the point guard position.
Okay.
Behind the scenes, his passion for music got ignited when he found the hip-hop artists like Eminem, Glock 9, G-Dragon, Looney,
Alright.
and NF.
Some
This is
G-Dragon.
when he started writing songs in secret as an outlet for his emotions. He kept the dream of performing to himself because of his shy attitude. Most families in the Philippines believe that going overseas will set you up for life, and Pablo's family wasn't a stranger to that. He initially took up accountancy in college because the job was in demand abroad, but he immediately regretted it and felt that the course wasn't for him. He loved writing songs and wanted to get better at it, so he decided to shift his course to a Bachelor of Arts in English. This is when he started learning about poetry and different types of literature, which definitely played a big role in the future. In his senior year, his younger siblings started going to college as well, and their family's income was no longer enough to keep them all in school. So he started working as a call center agent at night while studying in the morning. He worked a full 9-hour shift and also full-time in school. Honestly, I couldn't imagine how he survived all that, but
Yeah.
he did.
How
He
did you
got his
sleep?
bachelor's degree in English, and according to some sources, if only he wasn't a shifter, he would have graduated cum laude. He's a smart dude for
See,
sure, and also
this is where I personally feel so lucky to have the childhood that I had, because like even though we didn't have a lot growing up, like my parents still like worked their asses off so that we could actually enjoy our childhood. Like they wanted us to enjoy school and college and high school and do extracurriculars. Like I was involved in so many things, you know, from like musical to choir to dance, you know, all of those things, like sports, like, and if it wasn't for them working hard, like I never would have had those opportunities and done those things. Like I would have been like Pablo and I would have been working while in school, and like my parents never wanted us to work while we were in high school. So like I just have so much like respect for, you know, Ken, Pablo, like honestly all of them for like putting in this much effort, not only for themselves but for their families too. You know what I mean? Like it's just their stories are amazing to hear about, to be honest with
a
you.
responsible one. He was so responsible that after graduating, he immediately went to work as a data analyst for a real estate company to help provide for his family. It was a stressful job, but he was able to cope by watching his favorite K-dramas. From then on, everything was smooth sailing, until the big what if started bothering him. Deep inside, he had this unfinished business of making music. So one day, he decided to follow his passion while keeping his full-time job. He started joining rap battles and competitions as a soloist. He initially wanted to use Seismic as a screen name, which has a double entendre for seismic. But he never managed to share it because he is a shy dude, so he always ended up telling his real name instead. To this day, that screen name remained to be in Pablo's username on his social media accounts. If you want to know more about the meaning of it, check out the video I made about it. Link in the description. You can also join the highest tier membership if you want to support me and also be credited as one of the executive producers. Going back, Pablo kept competing despite not winning until one fateful night when Miss Hongganda of Show BT found him in a contest. She offered to train him as a solo artist but ended up becoming the leader of the boy group that would end up rewriting Filipino music history. They underwent a Korean training style that is notorious for pushing trainees to their absolute limits. Pablo reached a point that it became too difficult for him that he had to choose between his job and the training. Realizing that he was only half step in, he decided to go all in by quitting his job.
Wow.
He told his mom about it, and as expected, his decision was questioned. But she didn't stop him from chasing his dreams. With his job
What
comes
is
no
this?
income. Life became so hard for Pablo that he had to skip meals and sleep in their camp just to extend his remaining money for commuting back home every few days because his home was miles away. In order to survive, he performed in different Korean events with his group called PHP, which was also composed of other ShowBT trainees. This went on for 3 years. Fast forward to 2018, SB19 was formed and they debuted with a song called Tila Luha, which was written by none other than Pablo. This was a song that was supposed to capture the hearts of the Filipino people, but sadly, barely anyone cared about it. The same thing happened to their second single, Go Up. This was supposed to be the time when he could tell his parents that he has finally made it, but instead, it became the reason why he started to question himself. This was a major blow to his confidence, so he shut himself off from the public and did some quote-unquote unspeakable things. If it wasn't for George and Pablo's faith in God, he wouldn't be here today. This was also around the time when he wrote the song La Luna, which exactly described the situation he was in. It's so wild knowing that his recent song actually came from several years back, and there's no telling how many he's already done because he describes himself as someone who always writes music.
Wow.
When the Go Up dance practice video was uploaded, their popularity snowballed. A follow-up song was released called Alab, which was also written by him, but the fans noticed that something was wrong. Pablo's name was nowhere to be found in the credits, and when the movie Game Boys was released, SB19's Hanggang sa Huli was the original soundtrack, and it happened again. Twitter fans went ballistic, and there was even a movement that encouraged everyone to mass email Show BT just to give him the credit he deserved. Thankfully, it was heard. If it wasn't for 18, maybe Pablo wouldn't have gotten the music royalties he has now. So what exactly is it that people don't understand about Pablo? Most people would say it's his sassy attitude, but I beg to disagree. We learned in his story that he's arguably the most introverted person in this group, and Stell perfectly described it in this clip.
Nung una, ang weird niya po, nagsasalita mag-isa, parang bigla na lang siya nagagano. Sa isang tabi po, nakatayo siya sa gilid. Tapos may training kami, tapos biglang gagano. Tapos biglang gagano siya. Gagano po siya sa gilid. Sabi ko, anong ginagawa na? Nagre-ritual ba ito sa gilid?
Some fans and even him also think that he's the worst dancer among them, but his co-members think otherwise.
I'm really bad at memorizing steps. Yeah, I'm really, really bad. So
I don't think he's a bad dancer at all.
Really?
Yeah.
He doesn't even tell us that he can backflip.
What? I didn't know he could backflip. Okay.
He's also a gamer. He even used his favorite video game character as an inspiration for one of his songs.
Oh, really?
Talk about a game changer.
Okay.
Most people think he's a poet, but he describes himself more as a bard who tells his stories through his music. Music
Yeah, I
that
can see
transcends
that.
generations and is backed up by recognition.
The winner of this season of the Juki Music Awards is Pablo. Congratulations.
Wow, Pablo.
The winner of the Composer of the Year award goes to
Wow, Composer of the Year.
John Paulo Nas.
That's awesome.
He can sing, he can rap, he can shoot, he can pop, he can play, he can snap, he can flip, and he can't stop. Pablo's mind is a race, and he's always 5 steps ahead of us. He does what he does because he strives for perfection, which brings us to the most misunderstood thing about him, his reputation as a genius. Sometimes it makes me wonder, why does Pablo keep on asking this question?
Why us? Why are we here right now?
The answer for me is the lesson I learned from his story. I learned that the person performs better when there's no safety net. He had no plan B. Pablo gave up everything and decided
That's
to
so
go
true.
all in by focusing
so
on getting
true.
better at his craft.
Because that
He
was the
believed
only
that failing to
option.
prepare is preparing to fail. So he made the world his library to become the best version of himself and became the guy who worked while others slept. The guy who learned while others partied. The guy who led while others followed. The guy who lived like others only dreamed of. A leader has the capacity to translate vision into reality. And that's the answer to Pablo's why.
I agree. I totally agree 100%. I totally agree 100%. Like, I just, there's everyone, like, again, like, everyone has their own path in life, right? Like, I don't know, like, I'm sure, like, a majority of us as kids, always dreamt about, like, performing on stage and being popular and, like, singing and dancing. And I mean, I definitely, when I was younger, had that dream for sure. But at the end of the day, like, what differentiates us from the ones who make it and the ones who don't, For me, I think it's, are you really willing to give up everything to get there? You know what I mean? Are you willing to give up your comfort? Are you willing to sacrifice a lot to get to that point, And a lot of people think about it and realize that they don't want to make those sacrifices. And I was definitely one of them. Like, do I enjoy dance? Yes, absolutely, 100%. I'm not the best singer, and I never took vocal lessons. I was in choir, but that's about it. So I do know, like, a bit about singing, but not a lot. But, like, to me, dance was just a hobby, and it was something that I just found really fun to do in my free time, and it was a way for me to be creative, right? You know, it was my creative outlet. For others, it's their life, you know what I mean? Like, it's their dream, it's their goal, it's, you know, and I think that's the biggest difference, right? Like, to me, I didn't want to give up all of my other comforts, like friends, social life, family, you know, all of those things that you really have to like set aside to live, to get to the goal of like being a true artist. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, I can't imagine like how often they actually got to see their friends and family the whole training period, the whole debut. Like, even now, like, who knows how often they really see their friends and family. Like, being an artist is just such a, you know, like, I don't want to say hard existence, but it's so time consuming, and it's so like, you know, you're always learning choreo and in the recording studio recording music, and like, you know, doing this, doing that, like doing a schedule, like being an ambassador, like a brand ambassador, like stuff like that. Like, there's always something going on, and I just like, you have to have a strong mentality to like have that kind of lifestyle, you know what I mean? And I knew that that lifestyle was definitely not for me at an early age. Like, I enjoy the comfort of my me time. I am not good with like being out in crowds for long periods of time. Like, it's just tiresome. But, you know, I think that's okay, right? Like, even though, sure, like, it would have been fun, and it's fun to dream about whenever you're young, but, you know, I think that's the biggest difference, right? Like, this was their life. To me, it was a hobby. It was just a fun, creative outlet. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And I just have, like, that's why I have, like, such, I don't know the words that I'm looking for. Like, that's why I just genuinely enjoy music, and I enjoy P-pop, K-pop, you know, J-pop. Like, you can just see the hard work and effort that they put into their craft. And I know like a snippet. I only know like a snippet of that hard work because of, you know, the dance classes and the performances that I did. Like, but that was just like a snippet, you know what I mean? To live that life every single day. Like, I can only minutely comprehend, you know, the time, effort, hard work that SB19 has put into becoming SB19, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'll never fully understand or comprehend it, you know what I mean? It's just such respect for them. Anyway, sorry, enough of me talking. I went off on a tangent. Let's move on to Stell. It was really fun learning more about Pablo too. Like, I think he's really, I just think he's such a genius, and the fact that he doesn't think he's a genius, I'm just like, no bro, like, you're a genius. But his story is really inspiring as well. Okay, let's move on to Stell. Sorry guys, I know I keep talking, but I'm really enjoying learning their stories.
Hoy, malapit na graduation namin. Eh di hoy, congrats!
Stell, hala, nag-send ka ng stars na 3.
Kaya nga ako nagtatrabaho ako sa SB19 kasi kailangan ko din eh.
Kasi pumunta ako doon, kumbaga, para ipakita ko ng skill ko. Pero yun talaga pa rin yung napapansin ng mga tao.
A lot of people dream about the perfect lifestyle has, full of love, talent, and people who support him unconditionally. Stell's life seems flawless, but behind it is a different reality. For years, Stell's talent seems to have been ignored, and some haters even resort to seeing him as the group's visual hole. So in today's video, it's his time to shine because he obviously and rightfully so deserves it.
What?
Stell Ajero's adventure started in Las Piñas City, Philippines. Aside from singing, Stell's parents also loved watching classic Hollywood action movies, so he was named after Sylvester Stallone.
I think
He's
that's
the
so
eldest
cute.
child among 3 siblings. Stell has been dancing ever since he was a kid because his parents used to ask him to dance in front of their relatives at family gatherings. Stell grew up as a happy and playful kid. In fact, he was very good in children's games such as Habulantaya, Tagu-Taguan, Takyan, and even basketball. There was a time when he was playing basketball with Ivan, his younger brother, and he did a nasty crossover that sent his brother disoriented into a parked car, giving him a big lump on his forehead. And you might not believe this, but Stell has a grandma who can see ghosts and even revealed that she used to see a headless child figure in their restroom. There was also an instance when Stell got possessed by a paranormal entity, which led to him having a fear of ghosts.
See, I believe in that stuff. As I said, I'm a spiritualist, so I'm like, like, genuinely, I have crystals like all over my room to like, as like protection, you know what I mean? I'm a firm believer in this stuff. So like, no, like. I'm good. Let's not. I have done a spirit board, a Ouija board once, and I'll never do it again. But I do tarot. Like, I do enjoy tarot, which, like, again, like, I have my crystals with me whenever I do tarot, and I'm like, I make sure that I'm in the right headspace for it. But yeah, like, I just ghosts are like a big no.
It's Dan. Stell had his high school days at St. Mark's Institute, and he was very active as a student. He had multiple extracurricular activities like joining the school choir as the only male soprano and also joining the dance sports club, performing ballroom dance and even Filipino folk dance, which explains why he performs tinikling so effortlessly. In his second year, he joined a hip-hop dance club called Campus Image Revolt, and this was when he started winning. They won the Skechers Street Dance Battle Year 3 and also became a finalist the next year after. This was Stell at 13 years old. And he was already this good? Sheesh! After high school, he studied college in STI Makati for a degree in hotel and restaurant management. This was when he enhanced his talent in cooking and baking. Yup, he can do that too.
Aww.
As expected, he kept dancing in college. Some of his crewmates from Las Piñas even followed him there. Just check out this cool tryout clip. Some people had no idea how good Stell already was. I think he was with Jello of Yara here if I'm not mistaken. People were teasing him at first, but when they started dancing, they went speechless. See for yourself.
1, 2, 3. Nice, Stell! Nice one, Stell!
Wala din yung naalala sa video.
I don't know, I just like, Stell's just so fun to watch, for real.
Yo, Stell can even breakdance? Sheesh, guys! After that, he he went on to become a part of STI Makati's dance image and won the national championship in 2011.
Wow.
And you know what's crazy? He did all that while working at McDonald's and teaching dance to kids with special needs, which is a clear testament of Stell's sincere love and patience for kids.
That's so cute.
But with many great deeds comes a heavy price. Stell's body took a toll as he had been overworking himself, resulting in yearly developing acute pulmonary edema. Almost all of his extra money he made went straight to his hospital bills. Stell had to stop everything he was doing in order to recover, and his aunt offered to fly him to Japan to become a babysitter for his younger relatives. He stayed there for 6 months, which explains why he can speak Nihongo. This brings us to another crazy story. Stell's aunt had a rich Japanese friend who took a liking to Stell's overall personality and attempted to arrange a marriage with him. This friend had big businesses and was already set up for life. So if Stell said yes, it would have been a good decision. But instead, Stell said no and chose to go back to the Philippines instead to chase his dreams.
That's wild.
He met his former crewmates again and then later formed Seiyang. Because of their experience and winning mentality, they immediately found success by winning multiple local dance competitions. They competed in every dance contest they knew and won most of them. And because of that, they started gaining fans. One of those fans was Josh. It's actually quite obvious just looking at his past tweets. Stell's performances sparked Josh's passion for dancing, so he started training himself and eventually was taken under Stell's wings. Josh was technically older than Stell, but he saw him as his big bro because he knew for a fact that there's a lot to learn from him.
Aww.
Fast forward to late 2013, they became official co-members and went on to win multiple international titles. One of their biggest breaks was at K-pop festival in Incheon in 2014. Their whole stay and the competition itself was televised, and I'm telling you, there were moments that straight up just proved how much of a monster Stell already was. One part of the show was the mentoring session where renowned Korean choreographers would judge their dance routine.
파워풀한 동작이 돋보이는 필리핀 방탄소년단 커버댄스 팀.
And Stell's group was the only one that impressed them.
너무 잘한다고 생각했는데 표정에서 힘이 든 게 너무 드러나는 거예요. 유지하는 게 중요할 것 같고 처음에 초반에 이렇게 하는 부분 있잖아요. 딱딱하게 잡는 것 말고 부드럽게 해야 하는 부분에서 조금 더 부드러운 느낌을 살려야 될 것 같아요. 그거를 염두를 해가지고 연습을 하면은 봤을 때 더 좋은 무대가
I think that's why like I personally really love like full-on performers who just like not only are they good singers and dancers, but they just have like an overall just like I don't know, charisma about them and like really good facial expressions whenever they perform. And I think that's why I like Stell, like in particular, so much when I see him perform, because that's something that I always lacked whenever I did dance. Like I never really like properly learned how to like do really good facial expressions when performing. And it's something that I always like wish that I would have worked on, so when I see it in others, like it just like I don't know, like I just have such like appreciation for it because I'm like, oh, like I wish I could like have that good of facial expressions whenever I'm dancing, you know what I mean? So it's like I think Stell just really does that well. Stell, Justin, and Pablo in particular, like I don't know, like I just really enjoy their performance mode for real.
될 것 같아요.
It gets crazier when they play the dance relay game with the K-pop group Fiestar. Do you know what Stell did? He single-handedly and accurately danced each random K-pop song that were given to him. Just take a look at their reaction.
Okay, so
완벽한 안무 재현에 강한 힌트가 될 포인트 안무까지 듣자마자 어깨를 들썩이게 한 그야말로 에이스 B팀의 최고 에이스 팀.
They're so impressed.
They couldn't believe it. We pretty much witnessed his visual, auditory and kinesthetic memory being already
Oh,
on a different
absolutely.
level, even at the earlier stages of his career.
Absolutely.
Fast
Do you
forward
know-
to the final show, Stell and
Do you know how hard it is to remember choreo? Like genuinely, that like there's no way. Can I learn choreo quickly and can I perform it? Sure. Will I remember it next year? No. 100% no. Like it's so impressive to remember that much choreo. Like, and it's just in the back of his head, just sitting there. Like all of this choreo. It's crazy to me. Like genuinely.
Josh killed it and won it all. Stell was asked what his dream was, and here's what he said.
My dream is to dance with my favorite idol, Bangtan.
Later that night, that dream came true. It's so crazy how powerful a person's will could be to the point that he can make things happen. So after that,
So
Seiya
cute.
kept competing locally and eventually crossed paths with the other would-be SB19 members. Not as friends, but as competitors. Show BT then held an audition which led to forming the greatest P-pop group ever assembled in the history of Filipino music. Their start was not smooth sailing. In fact, there was a point when all of the other members quit and it was only Stell who remained. He kept training despite what happened and Justin joined him from time to time while studying. This went on for weeks until the other members decided to come back. If you want to know more about their story as a group, check out the SB19 story series I made, linked down in the description. You can also join the highest tier membership of the channel because not only you are credited as an executive producer, but you're also helping the channel and producing stories that deserve to be heard, just like SB19 stories for example. So having all those positive things said about Stell, why does he still have haters? What is it that people don't understand about him? For me, it's simple. They're just jealous. These people choose not to attack him on his talent because they're obviously no match against it. Just take a look at this clip.
It's true. He's way too good. Ooh. Get it, Stell! This is such a hard song to sing, too.
So instead,
Wow,
they
that's
attack
awesome.
him on his physical appearance.
I'll be honest, only Joe Kentian have passable visuals. Most casual viewers would react the same way too. I'd suggest plastic surgery. Why not? It's 2020.
Stell couldn't help but respond.
Again, like, stop hiding behind a PFP. Let's see what you look like. Let's see your face. Okay? Like, I can't stand it.
Onto it. And his reply broke my heart. Hello.
Stell.
I'll also be honest. I know I'm not handsome. I admit it.
Stell,
But as I've always said,
stop.
I'm here to show my talent. If I didn't pass in your eyes, it's okay, as long as my teacher passed me. Good morning and have a nice day. The comment of the fan didn't make sense at all. I mean, is this not passable for her? Come on, man. Not only is Stell beautiful outside, but also in the inside. He even inspires every people around him, and Josh is the living proof of that.
Hi, Stell. Happy birthday.
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Stop.
Honestly, hindi ko alam saan mag-start. Pero, nakita ko lahat ng paghihirap mo ever since from the start.
No, don't cry, Stell. You're gonna make me cry.
Ina-idolize na kita. Ikaw yung nagbigay sa akin ng inspiration para maging performer. Kasi, kung wala namang sa'yo, walang Stell, diba, hindi ako makakarating dito kung nasaan ko ngayon. Nung una ko kayo nakita, super na-amaze talaga ako tulad ng paulit-ulit ko sinasabi. At hanggang ngayon, ikaw pa rin yung ina-idolize ko. Feeling ko, yung talent ko talaga pang-world class talaga. Walang, ano ba, wala. Ang hirap sabihin ng word, pero talagang, alam mo yun, hindi basta-basta mapapantayan. Alam ko, tiwala ako sa'yo. Kaya nga, kahit saan, I mean, diba? kahit anong klase ng performances, alam ko kaya natin, kaya mo. Dahil ganun ako tiwala sa'yo. Ayun, I hope you enjoy your day. Sana matupad pa natin yung mga pangarap natin. Marami pa tayong pagdadaanan at marami tayong pinagdadaanan as of now. Pero alam ko na pagsama-sama tayo, nagiging okay din lahat. Kakayanan natin lahat. Ngayon, Stell, happy birthday. Wishing you all the best. You deserve all the love.
That's so precious.
At this point, you probably already realized that Stell is an ultimate husbando. Imagine yourself waking up in the morning with him serving breakfast. Breakfast made by a man who can cook and bake. Someone who can sing you to sleep using his heavenly voice or take you on the dance floor. A guy who can teach you how to break dance or conduct voice lessons for you. An actor.
He really is
a singer,
so talented.
A rapper, a natural comedian. Someone who can easily do them impromptu. Yes, I mean freestyle. A God-fearing person and a philanthropist. Sometimes it makes me think, Stell must have been outside when God summoned the rain that grants unlimited talent, because that's exactly how most people would describe him. But you know what? I actually don't believe that. Because of his story, I learned that Stell worked hard for everything he has achieved today. There was a point in the story when he was already a winner, and all he gotta do was to get married. But instead, he decided to love himself enough to want better, decide better, seek better,
an insane
and move
story,
in the direction
for
of
real.
something better. He decided to ask himself, what is the next level of me? Am I done evolving? The things he accomplished were already in the past. They were over. He realized that he can't get points today for the things he's done yesterday. He started living while making a statement every day. He wanted to become the things that he sees. He had problems with his education, but he never complained and instead put in the work. He became selfless. He's now living his life with a sense of purpose, and he wants to make a difference in everybody's life and everybody he comes in contact with. Simply put, he refuses to be another man who lives his life with no significance. This brings us to his favorite phrase: be your own reason to smile.
That's so precious. That was fun. I'm telling you, each member has such an inspiring story. The more that I learn, the more just amazed I am. Genuinely. I'm learning so much, but also, my love for them has just continued to grow, I feel like. I'm deep down the rabbit hole, and I don't think I'm ever coming out. Genuinely, I very quickly have ulted SB19 for sure. Just the more that I learn, the more that I'm just I just have such high respect for them, for real. I'm gonna take a pause and I'm gonna grab something to drink real quick. Okay, sorry. I needed a drink. I've been sitting here for I don't know how long. This is definitely going to be over an hour reaction for sure. Okay, let's move on to Josh's story. My boy Josh.
Mukha lang ako hindi legit, pero dati dumadayo talaga ako ng Dota. Yung pinakamarik.
Sabi nga nila, unique yung voice ko. Hindi na lang sinabing pangit.
Wow.
SB19 Josh embodies the word charisma in the P-pop industry. Some people would even kill just to get a taste of his life, surrounded by loyal friends and fans who would do everything for his success. However, behind the golden facade hides the painful truth. From falsely accused of cheating in games to proving himself innocent by becoming a champion. Some haters even see him as the group's weakest link. So in today's video, haters will be proven wrong and viewers will be given inspiration because his journey is nothing short of electrifying.
Stop.
Let's go, Josh!
Josh Cullen Santos was born in Las Piñas City, Philippines. He was raised by his mom Aldrin along with his sister Yuna. He also had two other siblings who didn't grow up with him and they remain undisclosed to this day. When Josh was 3 years old, they moved to Imus, Cavite. Having a single mom, Josh and his sister had to be entrusted to the care of a housemaid because their mom had to work away from home to support them. But instead of receiving care, they experienced hell at a very young age because this so-called housemaid physically tortured them by making them strip and pouring melted candle wax all over their bodies. I'm not even sure how long this went on. Probably long enough that Josh was already able to remember it before the abuser got eventually apprehended and put into jail. He even shared that he still has the burn scars to this day. Josh was a very smart kid as he was a consistent honor student until he reached the 3rd grade. This was when things started to take a turn for the worst. Josh had to drop out of school with his sister because their mom couldn't afford their tuition anymore. They re-enrolled the next year, only to drop out again for the same reason. So Josh's former classmates became his sister's classmates, which led to her getting bullied at school for being a repeater. There was an instance when Josh got into a fist fight against his own former classmates to defend his sister. Imagine how messed up that is. Anyway, their family's financial standing gradually went on a downward spiral. They were barely eating once a day. It even came to a point when they only ate salt, soy sauce, and ketchup as their viand dish. They moved homes constantly from medium-sized apartments to smaller ones. Now I don't know exactly how their situation got so fucked up this quickly, but Josh openly talked about it on his YouTube channel. So going back, there was no denying that young Josh and his sister were in a very uncomfortable environment growing up. I can imagine how their living conditions could mess with their head, especially at a very young age. This was when their coping mechanisms started showing up. For Josh's sister, it was rebellion. She constantly got into intense arguments with their mom, so she was barely at home. Josh was even asked to look for...
Again, like, I had this conversation before, but it's just so interesting, like, it's just so interesting how these, like, events, like, how we handle these events, like, what, the kind of people we become, you from that, you know, and, like, again, like, Josh and his sister had the same upbringing, the same experiences, you know, they dealt with the same things, but they both handled it so differently. Like, it's just, I don't know, like, as someone who studied psychology, the brain is just so fascinating to me. Like, the way that our brain works and how it deals with trauma and how, you know, how it messes up our development and our brain, like brain function in general. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just annoyed with these blinds. But anyway, like, I don't know. I just, like, it's so interesting, like, how our brain rewires. Like, I don't know. I personally don't know that much about it either, but, like, you know, the neurons in our brain, like, can, like, have the ability to rewire and adapt based on, like, things that happen in our lives. Like, it's really, really fascinating, especially whenever we're, like, in those years where our brains are developing the most from, like, from like childhood all the way up to like high school and even college. And then usually about like 25-ish, maybe some years after that. It's different for men and women, but around that time is when your brain like kind of like fully develops, and you know, things don't change as much. But it's just, I don't know, it's just so fascinating to me. I love learning about the brain, and I don't know, I could like geek out about it all day, to be honest with you. But I don't know, I just like you just wonder like what was the determining factor of like how him and his sister just handle the situation differently, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna lie to you, like I was a bit of, maybe not, I was a brat. I'll say that. Like when I was younger, when I was like, you know, 14, 15, 16, I was a brat. Like I wanted things my way. I thought that, you know, the world owed me. Like, you know what I mean? Like I definitely not my proudest moments, for sure, whenever I was that young. But whenever my dad passed at 17, it just like completely changed my way of thinking. You know what I mean? Like I realized that I couldn't be selfish anymore. Like it wasn't good. It wasn't healthy. I was not only making myself miserable, but the people around me miserable. And I regretted it so much. Like, because those are the things that my dad saw before he passed. He saw my selfishness. He saw my sassiness, me being a brat, like me wanting to have my way. Like it just made me, I don't know. Stop, I'm getting emotional. Don't. It just made me realize that life is short. Stop. Don't. Stop. No, I was doing so well not getting emotional. It just made me realize that life is short. You never know what could happen, when you could lose somebody, and it just, like, I realized that this isn't the person that I wanted to be. Sorry. Why is this turning into a therapy session? Stop. Like, I don't know, it made me mature a lot quicker than I probably would have if his passing didn't happen. So it's so, I don't know, it's just so interesting how like that was my thought process, you know, dealing with the loss of a parent. But for my brother, it was a completely different process, you know what I mean? Like he just wanted to be angry at the world, and you know, I don't know, like it's just so interesting, like how you can go through the same thing but end up so different, like even with your siblings, you know, like it's so fascinating to me. Like, sorry, I did not mean to get like into a therapy session right there, but like just my point being, you know, there's factors in life that will make or break you. And do we have the strong enough mentality to learn the lesson and be a better person? Or will we let the weakness get to us and let it drag us down? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's mentality. It's so interesting. Sorry, anyway, moving back to Josh, sorry.
For her, at some point,
I did not mean
that's
to
when
like
he
get
found
that
out
deep.
that his sister had started drinking. As a young teenager, Josh
Coping,
didn't
yeah.
know how to handle the situation, so he kept it secret and took care of his sister in his own way. Yuna even talked about this in public.
Puro hirap yung nasa namin eh. Alam mo yun, kaya masakit sa akin pag nakikita ko rin nahirapan yung kapatid ko. Kaya ngayon, masaya ako kasi na-check niya yung mga gusto niya. Akala ko iwan niya na ako. Hindi, siya lang yung kasama ko. Hindi ko kaya siguro pag iniwan niya ako. Sayote. Pag wala kami talagang pagkain nun, yung sayote kukunin ko, bili ko ng lulutuin ko, tapos yun yung kakainin namin. Alam mo yung hindi niya ako kayang buhatin, pero bubuhatin niya ako. Yes, si Josh, ganyan yan dati si Josh, ganun siya kabait. Susunduin niya ako, ihatid niya ako sa bahay. Ate, lasing ka na naman. Ginaganon niya ako. Hindi kaya na lang ako pipiyat na, uy ate, huwag ka matakot na, mag-stand to your own, out of your box. Hindi niya ako, iniwan. Natutulog ako sa likod ng multicam. Tapos nakita ko ni Josh, ang ginagawa mo dyan, baho mo na. Sabi niya gano'n. Sabi niya, mamaya, alis si mama, maligo ka ha. Pag alis ni mama, gano'n niya ako. Tapos, di ba nasa bahay pa si mama, ayaw ko pumasok. Dadala niya ako pagkain doon. Sa likod na ako sa pick-up.
This only showcased that Josh already had a good heart from the start.
Aww, so precious.
And if you think they already went through the worst, it only gets even worse. Josh got diagnosed with stage 3 dengue. And it was so crazy because they only found out about it when Josh started puking blood. So he immediately got hospitalized, which meant draining their finances even more. The good thing about it was that they had a relative in the US who lent them some financial assistance.
Oh,
he
my
gradually
God.
got better and got out of the hospital. They were fine for a while until their family's loans started piling up and there was nowhere else to borrow money.
That,
from. They
I
hit
did not
rock
know
bottom
that.
to the point that they were forcefully evicted from their rented home, and I don't mean just receiving an eviction letter, but actually having a squad of authorities haul their belongings off the property. Josh saw this moment as his wake-up call. He was so fed up with the situation, so he decided to take matters into his own hands by leaving his family to become independent. He started working as an internet cafe attendant while crashing into his friend's house and didn't even mind sleeping on the floor. If his sister's coping mechanism was rebellion, his was different. It was gaming. He fell in love with highly competitive games such as Dota,
So cute.
Dance Dance Revolution, Call of Duty, and more. Do you remember the old stereotype when this look is considered as an okay player while this one is the epitome of someone who could give you a run for your money? Well, Josh was exactly that. He could build Lothar's Edge in 5 minutes and he used to visit nearby towns' internet cafes with his buddies to play competitive Dota, Biolan, and won most of them.
Wow.
There was an arcade called Flashback in Cavite where the name Byte was commonly seen in the top score leaderboards. And guess what? That name belongs to this kid.
Wow.
His name earned the reputation of a DDR master. He even competed professionally and became
That's
a champion.
crazy.
He got so good at video games that when he started playing Call of Duty, most of his opponents mass reported him because they thought he was cheating. In reality, he was just too good. This led to his account getting wrongfully banned. So this was definitely a huge setback for him. But Josh wasn't gonna go down without a fight because after a couple of years, he would join one of the biggest Call of Duty tournaments and end up winning the entire thing.
Wow.
Down to just 40 players left alive, and yeah, it's an attempted backstab, but yeah, Josh is on the case.
We want to congratulate you on your victory. I mean, you've won the
Damn
showdown, an incredible run. But how do you feel? How are you feeling right now?
Look at him go.
Well, I'm actually really overwhelmed right now. Honestly, I didn't get to play Warzone for almost 2 years already. After
they banned him.
He did it live while thousands of viewers were watching. He didn't only prove that he wasn't a cheater, but he also showed that he was a force to be reckoned with as a gamer.
We love it.
Doing this,
We love
he
to
earned
see
the
it.
respect of gamers all over the world. Am I enjoying too much talking about Josh's gaming redemption arc that I forgot to talk about his job? Sorry guys. So while working as an internet cafe attendant, he started reviewing for the alternative learning system. Due to his innate brilliance, he easily acquired his high school diploma around 2010, which is around the same time when K-pop exploded in the Philippines. he inevitably got exposed to K-pop and immediately liked Big Bang, so he started going to K-pop events where he eventually saw Stell performing with Saeon. Josh became an instant fanboy. Just take a look at his old tweets. Stell pretty much
That's
inspired
so
him and made
cute.
him want to become a performer. Josh's new quest was officially on. He formed a dance crew with his gaming buddies and they called themselves
From a
Big Bang.
fanboy to being in a group with Stell. Cute.
We all start somewhere, don't you agree? Back to his job, the family who owns the internet cafe he was working at apparently wanted to adopt him, but their attitude towards him noticeably changed after finding out that Josh had started performing. They suddenly increased his 9-hour shift to 18 hours, which left him no choice but to quit the job. He was given only a week's notice, so he had to find a new one as quickly as possible. His best option was to apply as a call center agent.
Why?
In his first 2 attempts, he passed everything except the final interview because he was lacking a college degree. So he tried to put college undergrad on his resume and that's when he got accepted. He finally found a stable job that allowed him to pursue his dreams. He continued performing, which led to him crossing paths with amazing performers such as C13 of SNJ, getting mentored by Stell with Saeon, competing against Ken's Amigos, and then becoming a mentor himself to Justin with Zero to Hero. It's so amazing how he quickly
Cute.
evolved as a powerhouse performer even before the whole training thing with Show BT. In fact, he would become one of the biggest reasons why SB19 came to be because he was the one who recruited Ken and Justin.
Perfect!
During the
The
rise in
perfect
popularity,
text,
Josh started hearing about his long-lost father.
Opo, never po. Recently po parang may nagpakilala po sa akin na kapatid po ng father ko. Kaso daw po, wala na daw sa katinoang isip. So, nagpupo na lang po.
Baby.
So fast forward to today, Josh is now a part of the greatest P-pop boy group ever assembled, backed with almost unbreakable records and even more achievements in the years to come. And speaking of achievements, you can become an executive producer by signing up for our channel's highest tier. Not only you will help the channel, but you will also help SB19 to be promoted worldwide through my videos. So after hearing Josh's story, would haters still think that he's the weakest link? In my opinion, it will be the opposite. He pretty much blew the haters away. Everything that he went through taught him exceptional skills that gave him an unfair advantage in his chosen field. And he doesn't even brag about it. Just take a look at this one. Want more of this? Here you go. Contemporary? Check. Hip-hop? Check. Girly? Check. You can put a check as well on the musical instruments like the keyboard and the guitar. Even choreography. And talking about checks, how about fat checks? Because the dude is an investor and practices
Fat
stock
checks.
trading. It is even rumored that he's one of the richest SB19 members and makes the biggest business decisions for them.
I mean,
He gained
it
the
wouldn't
respect of
surprise
his
me.
co-members because he's a survivor. He used his experience to keep the people around him involved, not just within his group, but also everyone in the music industry. He could easily become a life coach if he wanted to. Josh is simply the perfect example of talent and hard work. Which brings us to the lesson of his story. In his tale, we learn that no matter how broken your life becomes, everything will be fine as long as you don't break yourself. By not giving up, he slowly acquired different tools that would eventually allow him to fulfill his destiny. He believed that the best way to predict the future was to create it. So he kept learning and started surrounding himself with the best people available. He proved to us that failure only wins if we give it permission. And dreams do come true. It's just a matter of decision.
Ugh, his eyes kill me for real. I'm telling you, like, every single member's story is just absolutely wild. Like, I'm learning so much. Like, I just... Crazy. It's crazy. Okay, moving on to Justin. Also, I feel like Pablo and Justin I was like the most curious about. I feel like, and Ken actually. I like knew a little bit more about Josh since I watched his 1999 music video. So like I kind of had like a bit more of like a background on like his childhood and stuff, but I'm still learning. Like there's definitely a lot of things in each of these videos I just never knew, like at all. Like wild stories, genuinely. But yeah, let's move on to Justin. Okay, Justin, let's go.
Pinagsabay ko yung studies ko and yung pag-aaral ko during that time.
Anong breed po ng dog yung black ang hair? Spanish breed.
Binibigyan na lang ako ng light kasi kailangan para maganda tignan yung grupo.
Are there no... Are there no captions for...
Binibigyan na lang ako ng light.
Okay, okay. I was like, is there no captions for Justin's part? Okay.
Sabay ko yung studies ko and yung pag-aaral ko during that time.
Anong breed po ng dog yung black ang hair? Spanish breed.
Binibigyan na lang ako ng light kasi kailangan para maganda tignan yung grupo.
Most of us would say that Justin is the luckiest SB19 member. He has it all: money, fans, friends, and family. But the sad reality is that many people underestimate him, and he knows it.
Feeling ko minsan pabigat lang ako.
But tonight, I hope to change that through his story.
No!
From being a rejected talent to becoming a world-class talent. And you're about to feel that it's nothing short of surreal.
Creative director. Wow.
I think Justin's so cute.
It was a minute past midnight on July 7, 1998 in Malabon City, Philippines when a baby boy was born. The wealthy De Dios family welcomed the newest member of their clan. His name is Justin. His mommy Gemma was so surprised because he was such a big boy weighing at 9 pounds and had already grown thick hair. He's the third and youngest child among his two other brothers, CJ and Yanni. Growing up as a kid, he was described by his family as a good and obedient boy. He developed a liking towards nature and its critters. Sometimes when it floods, he would catch different bugs to pet them. He even kept 2 turtle pets and named them Turtle and Tortoise. Justin was also an artistic kid as he made drawing his favorite hobby. Some sources even told me that he learned to draw first before learning how to write, which is why he is left-handed.
Interesting.
When Justin became a young teenager, his love for art would reach another level as he encountered the drama called Dream High. The plot of the show revolves around performing arts students chasing their dreams to become
Okay, he's a true, I gotta say, if he has watched Dream High, because I haven't even watched Dream High yet. Okay, if Dream High was like an inspiration for him, no wonder he's an Agase. Like, that's hilarious.
Idols. This was the time when Justin said, "Dream high." He started training himself and joined several school activities that would slowly reinforce his chosen path. This also led him to acting and filmmaking. In fact, he even ended up directing most of his school film projects.
That's really cool.
He was indeed a young boy full of dreams. Come 2016, Pinoy boy band Superstar started its hunt for Filipino talents. The judges of the show were big names: Vice Ganda, Billy Crawford, and Justin's idol herself, Dara of 21. Justin joined the off-air auditions, but he was unfortunately rejected, so he didn't make it to the live shows. Imagine if we lived in a universe where Justin actually made it. he would have been one of these guys, a group that has long since disappeared from the limelight. But this major setback didn't stop Justin from chasing his dreams. He started joining different dance cover groups and even managed to appear on a TV game show as a minor contestant. Justin's dancing stints went on until he met Josh when they became co-members of the group called Zero to Hero, while the other would-be SB19 members were also busy competing in the same field.
It's so
One
funny
day,
that,
Justin came
like,
across a talent workshop, so he took
connected,
the
but not
opportunity
really.
to join to improve his skills as a performer. The name of that talent camp was Show BT. The company's trainer, Ms. Honganda, saw Justin's potential, so they offered to train him. During SB19's humble beginnings, they didn't have a lot of supporters. Show BT wasn't exactly a big company, so they literally started from nothing. They had no salary and got minimal financial support. They had to buy their own costumes from a cheap market called Divisoria, and even though Justin could afford to buy expensive clothes, he chose not to because he didn't want to alienate his brothers who weren't financially capable back then. Justin kept studying while training, so he struggled with pressure from both the school and the grueling South Korean style training. There were multiple times when he almost decided to quit, but he didn't until he finished his college degree in multimedia arts from De La Salle College of St. Benil.
He looks so
And he did
little.
it with honors. So fast forward to today, Justin became one of the 5 members of SB19, a boy group that not only shaped the course of the P-pop history, but also put the Philippines on the map. Justin became known as the main visual of the group because I don't even have to explain, just take a look at this. He also earned the reputation of a rich kid because he just couldn't hide it.
Rich
kid? Ang palanggana.
Palanggana? Ano yung palanggana?
Palanggana.
Ano?
Basin. Nalagyan ng ano.
Basin, oo, basin.
Go.
Make sure na huwag niyong itatapon yung box kasi pwede niyang pulit-pulitin pag nag-brown out, pwede gawin pa may bayan. Hindi mo ginagawa yun?
Meron kaming rechargeable.
Mayayaman yun sila, lalo na to, sobrang yaman. Crash price. Okay.
That's it.
500.
Parang pinaunan.
Justin!
Wow!
Ay, mas mayaman pa sa akin. May 500.
Tatalunin yung $200.
Talo na ako.
$640. Meron pa.
Hindi ako uuwi.
The way Josh pulled out even more!
At ang tata, Calvin Klein. Madalas sa Cavite, gento nga ang sinasabi. Ganon din pa sa ibang lugar. Oo, parang sorry ka. Gento.
Ganto.
Sabi, gento kasi yan.
Gento.
We don't say that.
It's the motherfucking Nico.
And as people got to know his personality, he became loved for his interesting jokes which gave birth to the cornfield.
Nung na-experience ko na mag-mentor po, parang gusto kong palitan si Coach Chito.
Malakas!
Kasi nandiyan si Coach Chito. Pag pinalitan ko si Coach Chito, edi Coach Chinito.
And also, like, for different repertoire, for people to experience that roller coaster vibe.
Justin's that sassy younger brother. He said repertoire. Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah, roller coaster of emotions.
Pagpunta sa left sa Canada, magpapanik tayo. Magto-Toronto tayo.
He definitely likes plays on words.
Kasi every time you go on si Winnipeg.
Oh, the cousin of Winnipeg.
Ken's like, the fuck you say?
Kung si Winnie the Pooh ay...
If Winnie the Pooh ay...
Bear.
Winnie...
Si Winnipeg ay...
It's just support him. That's so funny.
Beautiful face, wealthy background, and a sense of humor. A nice combination for sure. But little did we know that some haters are saying that without his looks and corny jokes, he's got nothing else to offer. He basically became the most underappreciated member of SB19 because they think he just existed. And I'm sure most of you hardcore fans would agree that unfortunately, most people only care about the finished product. Some of these people don't have any idea what happens behind the scenes, and that is where Justin shines the brightest. You see, Justin has this unique ability that makes the people around him better. He's one of the most unselfish artists I have ever seen in the industry. He is someone who is willing to do the dirty work, and that sets up his group for success. Now I might get hate for saying this, but in my opinion, I consider Justin as the second leader of SB19. If Pablo leads through his assertiveness, Justin does it with calmness. If you pay close attention to their journey,
I can
you would
see that.
realize that
I can
Justin
definitely see
has
that.
never had a moment where he yelled or had a meltdown. He is so calm that it gets scary sometimes. Why scary? Because of the things he's capable of. We all know that when SB19 drops or performs something, it always feels like a storm. And Justin is the calm before that. SB19 produces world-class output because
That's
of
funny.
Justin's creative mind. He has this borderline obsessive attention to detail that enables him to come up with fascinating concepts that resonate with people all over the world. He is not a spoon feeder. He doesn't hold our hand. He respects his viewers' intelligence by utilizing his environmental storytelling, which empowers us to figure out the story ourselves. And when we do, we get satisfying. Simply put, he's not just the group's main visual, but also the one who mainly visualizes the cutting-edge ideas that allowed SB19 to consistently perform at the highest level.
Creative Director, Justin De Dios. So siya ang may idea nitong music video na.
So sasalubong kami rin sasalubong. Kuhan tayo talaga. Ganon. Tapos po, pag pagkakarating ano lang to, daan lang yung lakad.
Sobrang bilib na bilib ako. Kasi lahat ng aspeto talaga parang hindi ko maiisip yun.
Tapos may mga nakalutang na papel sa paligid mo. Ikaw lang yung gumagalaw ng mabilis, yung papel nakastop.
Okay.
Parang tapos yung mga papel, yung papel mapa, map, tapos
Pwede yun. Yung parang
Justin is really doing it big.
Yes, so kasi talagang very hands-on siya. Okay,
So
ganito yung scenario.
interesting.
Kasi hindi maiwasan yun eh. Di ba sa production naman, minsan talaga may mga hindi maiwasan. May plan A, may plan B, may plan C, may plan D. That's the normal. So ngayon yan, ina-execute niya. Which is sa murang edad niya. Ilan taon pa lang yan? 20?
Plus?
Diba? Pero grabe yung, diba, pagka-hands-on niya. Parang siya ngayon isa din sa mga nag-lead eh, no? Galing. Nakaka-proud si Justin.
Next naman, sayo tayo ng walang rollerblades. Sila, mag-ano lang. Mag-tricks lang po kayo. Ikot-ikot sa amin. Pwede rin nakasteady sa
One of the group member, Justin, was the one I mostly talked to during the initial meeting and after the final production. The original storyboard was created by Justin, one of the members.
I still think that's crazy. To create a whole storyboard, like...
He's asking Pablo about the message, like the image he imagined when writing the song. What do you want to convey? So that
Because
we
he's
can
the creative director.
conceptualize and like create something out of it.
See what I mean? Sheesh, right? And not
The
only
way
that,
Josh
but I
looks
also
at him
think
so
that
proud.
Justin is one of the most underrated dancers out there. And I'll just let the footage speak for itself.
I agree.
And when it comes to vocals, you better not underestimate him. But would you believe me if I said that those amazing qualities I have mentioned are not the reason why I support him? Probably not, right? But I'm not joking. This is the reason behind my support for Justin.
yung first impression ko kay Justin. Hindi ako makapaniwala na parang nag-exist na ganito ka ba?
Lagi kong inaalala yung sinasabi ni Justin na parang always
Always
try
look
to find
the
the beauty or the
good side.
people.
I have one advice from
Like, I love and I appreciate that mentality. I really do. Like, genuinely, to find the goodness in everyone. I wish I could do that. I'm too pessimistic for that. But also at the same time, like, be careful. You know what I mean? Like, I do think it's a really good thing to find the positives and the good things, but at the same time, like, don't let that don't let that get people to take advantage of you. You know what I mean? Like, I think there needs to be a balance. I think there needs to be like, yes, like I love that mentality, but at the same time, like, protect yourself. You know what I mean? Like, not everyone should have access to you. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, I just that's one thing that I really worry about when I see like, you know, innocent and decent people like Justin who just want to see like kindness and you know, all of the good things in the world, like, but not everyone is full of kindness, unfortunately. So like, I worry. I worry about people like Justin because I'm like, be careful though. Like, it's okay to like, you know, I don't know. It's okay to like put up like a little bit of a wall. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I think, in my opinion, I think it's good to protect yourself, but I do love that mentality and I wish I had that mentality.
For you guys, I hope when you grow up, you always look to the good side. Okay? Always try to appreciate every good thing that is happening in this world, alright?
He's so precious.
You want to say something to your parents?
I love my parents.
It's so cute!
Gusto ko rin mag-thank you kay Ken kasi na-experience ko maging kuya.
Aww.
Parang minsan kasi feeling ko parang kuya ko ni Ken ganon. So kahit hindi, parang minsan nafe-feel ko ganon.
That's so cute. Cute. He's definitely someone that silently takes care of people. For sure. Aww.
So what have we learned from Justin's story?
So cute.
For me, it's his desire to dream and his willingness to take every opportunity. He woke up every day believing that that day was the day. When he found out about the talent search, he auditioned. He didn't make it, but he never gave up and kept going. He even continued his studies while training. And because of that, he turned the so-called unfortunate rejection into the most fortunate revelation. All the windows that closed at him before are now starting to open up. He made me realize that every day, there's something surreal out there that is just waiting to be found. But only those who dream will find it. And only those who believe will see it. So start dreaming no matter how surreal it gets. Who knows? It might just happen.
Cutie! Now I gotta watch all the clips. That was so cute. That was really fun. I enjoy learning more about each member. Like, their stories are so interesting, so inspiring. Like, the more that I learn, I'm telling you, the more that I'm just like obsessed with SB19 and like enjoying them as a group and not just their music, you know what I mean? That was very fun. I'm glad that I finally watched this whole thing. I don't know, I think to me, like, this is the best part, like, is to, like, watching music videos and listening to music, like, 100% is so fun. Like, I am such a music lover, like, but it's really, like, falling in love with these groups and finding out, like, I don't know, because there's a lot of groups that I really liked. Like, genuinely, like, I have a lot of groups that I try to follow along with, but there's only a select few that I, like, will say are my alt. Like, literally, like, if a comeback happens, I'm immediately watching it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I am on top of everything. Like, I just would drop everything for, like, particular groups. And I think, I know SB19 is becoming one of those groups for me, if they aren't already. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thoroughly enjoying each member. Like, I just appreciate every single one of them, their talents, their stories, you know, the hard work and efforts that they have put in to get to this point. It's really fun to witness, for real. Alright guys, again, another extremely long reaction. Plans for next time, I definitely want to get to Ela, I think is the next song that I want to get to. The Attention cover is something that I want to get to. The performance for, was it their Duncan concert? Like, I think someone said it's like a 17-minute video of them just like doing like a constant like go performance, like nonstop. I really want to watch that as well. And then, like, I have some compilations and stuff that I really want to get to as well. So those are things that are upcoming. I don't know when I will get to everything, because I've had time off. Like, I had this whole week off, but I go back to work after New Year's, so I don't know if I'll be able to, like, be as active with reacting to SB19 as I have been currently. So I just want to say, like, I apologize if I don't get SB19 reactions out as quickly as I have been, because I do have a full-time job that I have to focus on, unfortunately. I definitely don't make enough money doing reactions. Actually, I like barely make anything. So yeah, I do have to have a full-time job to pay my bills. But I definitely want to continue my journey. I'm trying to like figure out a way to like finagle my upload schedule. Like, I want to make some changes and stuff like that. So I really need to like sit down and like think about what exactly I want to do. So that'll be my goal for sure. But yeah. Alright guys, I think that is it for me. Just letting you guys know like my top priorities for like what to get to next for SB19. But yeah. Alright guys, that is it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed another crazy long reaction. Again, thank you to Casual Chuck for like these videos. Like, he does such a good job with the editing and like the storytelling. He's really fun to listen to. Alright guys, my stomach is growling. It is time for me to eat some food. Other than that, I hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy, be yourselves, and have a good day. Bye guys.